Hello and welcome to your daily sales and profit show. It's Power Coach Alicia here, and this show is all about teaching you how to close daily sales. I am here on Mondays right around 7 p.m. Eastern, talking to you all about how to make more sales so that you can make more money. And this month, our theme is offers that convert. All right, offers that convert. I'm crossing my fingers and praying that the messenger that I send you is all updated. But if not, the links are all right. The verbiage might be a little off. I'm doing my best. If you want this month's guide, all you need to drop is hashtag December in the comments, and this month guide will come to you right in your messenger with the link to snag up the offers that convert guide. We have our mini chat basics, and mini chat is what I use to set up those messengers that go out to you. So our mini chat basics sales camp going on at the beginning of January, so you can get in and snag your spot now at the best possible price. Again, just drop hashtag September. December. And then the very last link in there is for the accelerated sales system membership that is all about teaching you how to make $10,000 a month or more in 7 hours or less per week. So the work you're doing is exactly what you need to be doing to make the money that you want to make. So if you've ever wondered why some people seem to attract sales effortlessly while you still are hustling for every single customer, that's what we're going to be talking about today in this session. I'm spilling my tea on my 100K mistake and the midnight breakthrough that changed everything for me. So we're going to obliterate the myth of needing to post endlessly, right? Because it doesn't actually work. And the simple mindset shift that it took me from struggling to making sales every single day. So there's not going to be any more cringeworthy cold messages going on or waiting for customers to magically appear. Today, you're going to learn the ins and outs of this. So again, it is hashtag December in comments to snag up the offers that convert guide that goes along with this session. I'm going to go ahead and get this shared out, and then we'll be ready to roll. Oh, I went to the wrong place. Here we go. Am I live in the right place? Maybe? Oh, guess it helps if I go to the right place. All right, so if you're live with me, I'd love it if you dropped hashtag live party. And if you are watching this on replay, it's hashtag after party. Oh my gosh, I can never find this group. Boom. Oh, that was way easier than last time. All right, so we are in. That is a quote from The Cutting Edge, which is my favorite movie of all time. If you've never seen Cutting Edge, it's about a figure skater and a hockey player. You're missing out. Of course, I'm the figure skater. All right, so I call it my $100,000 mistake, but really, truly, it's probably $450,000 mistake ish. A pretty high one, because listen, my very first, I think it was my second year in business, I hired the most badass coaches. And I spent a good chunk of money with them, probably $50,000 to $100,000 with them. So that's why I'm pulling back. It's not actually a $100,000 mistake. It's like, like I said, $450,000, because then they were great. They were worth every penny. I went on to make a few $1 million over a few years. Like, it was phenomenal, right? But the $400,000 mistake was constantly deploying strategies in my business that they just weren't for me. Okay. It's not that the strategies didn't work, but they weren't an aligned strategy for me. Like, I didn't want to be hustling and grinding and building tons of funnels and all of the crazy saucery that you can do in order to make money. And yes, I did do that when I built my original business, but funnels take an ungodly amount of work. And first of all, you've got to have them tested and proven. So first and foremost, you need to be out there pounding the pavement, making the offers, figuring out what you need to tweak and edit and all those sorts of things. And I was working so much harder, and I have to catch myself even still today, even though I'm the one of that created the accelerated sales system where you work 7 hours or less per week following this system. Of course, I work more time than that. I actually have 3 divisions to my business. I have all the advanced strategies that I've layered on. So I work more than that, but you don't have to work more than that in order to build a 6-figure a year business. So now I do. But if you're just at the beginning and you're working on building up to 6 figures a year, 7 hours or less is all you need. And if you want to layer on advanced strategies, you can. If not, that's okay. You don't have to either. All right. So what really changed everything for me is in all of these coaching programs and courses and all the money that I was spending, I learned a few things. Well, one of them was that most people want new leads, but they're not converting their current leads. So I saw a gap in the market of, hey, not converting current leads. And I had realized that I was doing the same thing. I was working on like new blood, new blood, new blood, new blood. 1, 2, just hitting the current people in my world over the head with passive marketing. And new blood wasn't working. Passive marketing wasn't working. And I could not create a sustained daily sales or a sustained monthly sales. It was like up and down and up and down and up and down. It was crazy. And when it was up, I was working crazy amount of time. And what I was doing was working, but it wasn't an aligned strategy for me. I didn't want to be spending that amount of time and energy and effort in order to do that when I know and knew that I didn't need to be doing that. Okay. I wanted to be actually spending my time with my family, but when I was working, to feel charged and amped and alive and loving it. And what would happen is the more that I worked, I felt more fucking drained. And the more that I felt drained, the more that I didn't want to do it. And it was like the start and the stop and the start and the stop and the start and the stop. I'm doing this, I'm not doing this, I'm doing this, I'm not doing this. And I couldn't connect to the aligned strategy because the efforts that I was making, a majority of the time was leading me away from the daily sales and the profits that I wanted. But it was what I was told I needed to do. Or if I was doing the other strategies, like that would be like the aligned, right? And then if I was doing the other strategy, it was like taking me well away from the quality time. And so my breakthrough was like, I need to do 1, what feels good in my soul. 2, what makes me feel alive. 3, that it's my fastest path to cash. What's my fastest path to daily sales and profits that carries people the best, that honors them, that helps me show them that I give a shit and they're not just a number. And then I designed my accelerated sales membership. And listen, the accelerated sales process was actually started, formulated, created, baselined 3 years ago. But I got my own way and I couldn't keep my head around it. And I felt disconnected. And there were like all of these things that were going on with it. And I was like, ugh, this isn't working. This isn't working for me. I felt like I was disconnected from what I really wanted to do, what I really needed to do, what really connected me. Okay. And so that's how all of this was born, is I gave myself a break. I gave myself the time. I gave myself the space. And then when I did my like healing and transformation, and I made the decision that I was not willing to reach my goals, sacrificing my mind, body, and soul. No matter what, I'm not willing to do it. So then when I stepped back in, my brain got really smart, systematized, direct processes, and I was able to tighten up my accelerated sales process and turn it in to offers that convert, right? So that is what this entire month is about, is offers that convert. And we are starting today with designing your path to profits. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm Power Coach Alicia, sales trainer, author, and speaker, and I teach you how to turn 7 hours per week into $10,000 plus per month in recurring revenue with my daily sales system. So if you want to work less and earn more, you're in the right freaking place. And I want you to drop 10K in the comments. Okay. So if you want to work less and earn more, drop 10K in the comments. This helps with the algorithm and get things moving. Okay. Also, if you are just joining us, if you drop #December in the comments, you will get the free offers that convert guide that goes along with this entire series for the whole month. We have 5 sessions this month, all Mondays. The 2nd, which is today, 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th, we will be here talking about offers that convert. And I promise you, I have a really, really, really powerful month laid out for you. And it is going to be phenomenal. So when we come into designing our path to profits, I first wanted to share with you, my rock bottom moment, the biggest mistakes I've made, and I would say if I just deleted all of that and crunched it into one sentence, is I sacrificed my mind, body, and soul for whatever money that I could make because I needed to take care of my family. And it's not that I regret that because they were always taken care of, roof over our head, food on the table, everything was always taken care of with me being the breadwinner. So I got the result that I was looking for. But the challenge is I also got a whole slew of things that I wasn't looking for. The damage to my body, the damage to my mind, the damage to my soul, the massive sacrifices that I was making day in and day out. And the truth is I didn't need to do that in order to be successful. So, and in order to have an aligned strategy, in order to make that money, in order to build a successful business. So the first thing I want to share with you are the 3 biggest customer finding mistakes that you will make. The very first one is spraying and praying on social media. Okay, so let me go ahead and drop this in here. Mistake number 1 is spraying and praying on social media. This is the number 1 thing that we curb when you come into working with me. Okay, because if you're I call it passively selling. If you're passively selling like that, you're actually causing more damage than you are good. Okay. And if you're not taking the content, the idea, the concept, and you're not deepening it, whether you are a product or service-based business, and giving it time to write out their algorithm and people to comment and discussions to be had, you are literally costing yourself thousands of dollars per month. All right. So you are passively posting, number 1. Now listen. Actually, let me rephrase that. You are passively selling. And the way that you're passively selling is posting your content and expecting it to generate the sales. Now, I'm not telling you that content can't generate the sales, but what I am telling you is the amount of content you're posting, the way you are curating that content, and what you're missing along with that is what's killing your sales. Okay, so you don't have to be posting every single day. So that's the very first and foremost thing. What you do have to be doing is adding value and selling. So your content needs to be high value. And I don't mean giving away the farm. I mean high value, like my live sessions that I do that you come to and watch, right? So high value, while also, so letting that value stand alone, while also making offers. So at the time that I'm recording this, my content looks like a long form piece of content and a live like this once a week. I have a post that will lead and remind you to come to the lives, right? And, start drumming that up. So that's 3 posts a week right there. And then 1 more post, which I'll probably layer in starting next month. I don't know if I'll even get to it in December, but I'll layer in 1 more post for the week that is high engagement. So you end up with a high engagement post, a post that drives traffic to my lives, like what you see here, a long form blog post, and then my live. Again, an advanced strategy, but that's what I do. So when you are spraying and just posting all of this shit out there and you're hoping that it generates sales, you're hoping that someone sees it, yes, you can generate sales like that, but you won't generate consistent sales because it has to be way more streamlined. So the next part of this is waiting on people to come to you. So this is mistake number 2, is you're waiting on people to come to you. You think if you post or if you send the email or you send the text, like you think that when you do these things, these people are going to come to you. And this is something that I prove all the time in my world, that it doesn't work like that. Yes, some people will order. Yes, some people will buy. But my Black Friday sale that I just did is a prime example of that. Like I did get some sales from the emails and the texts, but the majority of the sales that I got was from that active selling, that active connection, that active outreach, that active relationship, that active connection. Okay. So when you sit around waiting for people like your leads to come to you and buy based on your content, or you're waiting for your customers to come back to you if they are, you sell a consumable and they ran out of supplies or whatever, they're consumable, or maybe they saw an email you sent and they're going to come in. Yeah, that's a small percentage. I always say you have your passive selling that you want to do so that it's out there for you. And then you have your active selling where your money comes in. The reason why in my world it's 7 hours or less per week for $10,000 or more per month is because that's what you learn very first. So that's the one thing you master, A to Z. So we're not worrying about text. We're not worrying about emails. We're not worrying about 75 social media channels. We're focused on active selling first and foremost, and then we'll start layering in those other things. Now, the last mistake is using outdated cold messaging techniques, that hey girl message, right? Or that message that it is like a long form message. Hi, how are you doing? I loved your profile. I thought you were cool. I love your business and what you're doing in the world. My name is so-and-so and I wanted to share that. That person, listen, when you are cold messaging, because cold messaging works, the mistake is outdated cold messaging. Let me make that clear. It's outdated cold messaging. That's what mistake number 3 is. Let me just redo that. I want to make sure we're on the same page. It is not cold messaging like you think it would be. Okay. It's using outdated cold messaging. Cold messaging is what makes the world go round. There's cold messaging everywhere for everything, everywhere we go, everything we do. Everything is cold messaging until you become warm. That's how that works, right? So when McDonald's does a commercial and you are a McDonald's customer, that is not cold messaging for you anymore because you are now their customer. So that is a client messaging to get you to come back in. But if someone has never heard of McDonald's, which is an asinine example for me to use, but just stick with me. If someone has never heard of McDonald's and then there's a commercial on the radio, on the TV, that is cold messaging for those people. Or people, they've heard of it, but they don't want it. That's cold messaging. So the key is outdated cold messaging here that needs to be fixed. Okay. If someone comes to a networking event, they're expecting to learn about other people's businesses and pitch their business. But when you're cold messaging, it is interruption marketing. And interruption marketing works. And it's a big part of what makes the world go round and what, how new businesses flourish, how old businesses stay in business. Like interruption marketing works. It just can't be outdated techniques. It can't be sleazy and slimy and pushy and disconnected. All right. So that's what makes a mistake. So keep in mind, I'm not saying that cold messaging is the mistake. I'm saying that the outdated actions, the outdated messaging is what the mistake is. Now, if you're just joining us, make sure you throw down #December in the comments because I have a free offers that convert guide that goes along with this entire series. It's broken down into 5 sessions. There's deeper dive questions in there to help you take whatever you learn in this session to a deeper level so you can get it implemented in your business. Just drop #December in the comments for that guide. So let's talk about the mindset shift that brings in daily sales. Okay. So the mindset shift that brings in daily sales, because here's the deal. The mindset is more important than the strategy. If you don't have the mindset that you need, it doesn't matter what strategy you do, you're going to obliterate it anyways and fuck it up. You're going to stop it from working because your mindset is going to make you take action that gets in the way of the strategy that works for you. Okay. So if you are not doing any sort of mindset work day in and day out, you're never going to reach your goals because your fear-based thought processes, your limiting beliefs, your imposter syndromes, which is actually a limiting belief, but your habits that you have, procrastination and all these other things come up and get in the way. So you want to be, I always say good in, good out, right? You want to be taking action every day to clear your mindset and to strengthen your mindset and to empower your mindset so that when you have that aligned strategy, when I tell you can work 7 hours or less, you jump in, you trust, you do exactly what I tell you to do so that you don't take the 7 hours or less and turn it into 30 or 40 because you're getting in the way. See, the mindset is what's powerful for that, because if you're ready, you're trusting, you're willing to do the work, and you step forward with that powerful mindset, you're going to get the result that you want to have. So let's talk about some specific mindset thought processes to have. So the first one is moving from hunter to magnet. Okay. So you will still have because you are actively selling, there is this element of bringing people into your world and connecting with the people who are already in your world. But it doesn't feel like the hunter, God, I gotta have. Okay. It feels like, okay, here's the step that I'm taking because when they get here, I'm going to draw them in. They're going to connect with me. They're going to be pulled towards me. Right. So yeah, you'll take the first step to be like, hey, I'm Power Coach Alicia, or hey, I'm so-and-so. And then from there, the actions that you take, draw them in. And that stops it from feeling like you're just boom, 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 boom. It's that old outdated messaging, the old outdated passive selling, the old outdated highly automated systems, and everything is that way. And it's shifted into active selling while magnetizing people to you as well. So the next part of the mindset is understanding your value. Okay. I was on a business plan and audit session a couple of weeks ago. It was about a couple of weeks ago. And she was saying how, it was a very long conversation. It first started out with, the multiple businesses that she wants to do. And then and she kept weaving in and out, like her health stops her from being able to do things. And then she laid in another portion of it where she was like, I will never only do one business. It doesn't matter what anybody says because I need to keep myself busy. And then before you know it, the conversation kept going on. And the reason why she wanted to keep herself busy is because when she's not busy, her mind thinks about her traumas, demons, burdens, past history, places she needs to heal and grow and evolve from. So she uses busyness to avoid that. Okay. But then as the conversation went on, she shared that her absolute soul, love, power thing that she is the best at and lights her up is basically being a nutritional coach. And her husband had told her to do that years before, but she said, how could I charge for something that changes people's lives? Something that they need to know, something that is not accessible to them, she said. Understanding her value is the biggest problem with that statement. First of all, she's lying to herself. Okay, she doesn't want to value what it is that she offers because she doesn't want to ask her friends and family for money because that's who she's helping, right? Now, I don't have to ask her this. I already knew that. I still have not asked her, oh, are you helping your friends and family? It's just an automatic assumption because that's what you think. Like, you won't value your services. You won't value your product against your friends and family because you're in love with it. You know how much it'll help them. It'll transfer their life. And you just can't fathom asking them to pay you for it. So here you go. But when you look at the real world, and the statement that she said was that when it's not available to them, I told her that she's lying to herself. That's what she's telling herself so that she doesn't have to do the work to understand her value, to charge what it's worth. Because I told her, I'm going to tell you, everything that anybody sells is out, especially information, is out there for free. She says that, well, I don't want to charge them because this information should be free. Like, they should be able to have this. This is like what they need to live. And I'm like, it is out there, but they've got to watch the YouTubes. They've got to go to the blogs. They've got to do their own research. They've got to test things, see what works, what doesn't work, what's good, what's bad, what's here, what's there. They've got to go through all the trial and the error and everything. What you're charging them for is to streamline all that, hand it to them and say, this is what you do step by step by step by step by step for this result. If they don't want to pay you for that, they can go out there and do the work of their time, energy, and effort because they want to save the money. Or they can pay the money and put in less time, energy, and effort for the information and full steam ahead. Boom. Right? There's a lot more to this conversation with her, right? But just in some of the things I said, there's a lot of mindset going on there. Why the fuck is she launching businesses when she's using anything she can to distract herself from herself? All she's going to do is build up, break down, build up, break down, build up, break down. I call it building up the businesses and burning them to the ground. That's what she's going to do. She's going to build them up and burn them to the ground. Why would she burn successful businesses to the ground? Because she's not ready up here. That's how I burnt my first $500,000 business to the ground, because I wasn't ready here. And I had already been doing personal development for a very long time, but I never did personal development to evolve as a business owner. I did personal development so everyone didn't call me a bitch. Two different things. So I succeeded over here, but it wasn't something that I was using to grow myself, to be a better business person, to show up for myself in business, to protect my mind, body, and soul in business. It was literally, business was like money at all costs because it was survival. And personal development was heal my bitchiness so that people knew I had a big heart. That was it. You know? And so if you don't develop your mindset and you build a business, you'll burn it to the ground. Even if you burning it to the ground has nothing to do with the business. See, I was working on personal things at the time and my image of myself and how I showed up and people receiving me. And guess what I did? I built a $500,000 business with the personality, the energy, the attitude that I knew people would buy. That's a lot of personal development that needs to happen there. Why the fuck would you build a business as an edited version of yourself so that others were comfortable and would pay you? Well, for me, I was the breadwinner. I needed to put food on the table. But in my mind, if I showed up as me, it would be a barrier. I got some limiting beliefs to work on, don't you think? I have no business having a $500,000 company if I'm going to do it as a fake version of myself, because I know that this version of myself will sell. And that's what I did. So she's going to build up a business and burn it to the ground because she has personal things she needs to heal. And she doesn't realize she's going to burn it to the ground because she's not connecting the dots between her mindset and business, just like I was at that time. Yes, I love this. Kathy says, hey, Kathy, welcome in, girlfriend. The paying for it compresses time for them, which is hugely valuable. Exactly. So make sure you realize that you do have the value, right? You do. And whatever that dollar amount is over time, that changes, threshold, you get more comfortable. All that is, over time. But for free, for everything that you do and you know that it works and it changes lives, And then the next part that is really, really, really important is you only have to be one step ahead. And this is one thing that I feel like gets so jacked up. Let me put this on my notes. Gets so jacked up. It's like, I got to have all of this figured out. I have to have all the answers. I have to have all the solutions. I got to for sure make sure that they know that I'm clear over here. No, you don't. Sometimes I'm not even where my customers are, my clients are on a day because I'm not straight for me, right? Mindset. You only got to be one step ahead. Sometimes I'm not a step ahead though, but in general, on your foundation, on your day in and day out, it's one step ahead. And as long as you're one step ahead, 80% of the time, on the times that you're maybe a step behind them, your brain will kick in and be like, oh, yep, that's exactly what we do. Boom, I'll pull you here. Done. Okay? It isn't about being a master of selling when you start teaching selling. All you have to know well is what the fuck it is you're teaching. You don't need to know mastery well. You just need to know this step well, then this step well, then this step well. You only need to have your system, your modality, whatever you're taking them through. So a big challenge that I see here with the mindset is attempting to launch a business that you know nothing about. When you attempt to launch a business that you know nothing about, there's no way to be a step ahead. And you will get caught. Even if you use AI, you're going to get caught not actually being able to lead them. So I always say, if you're going to launch a business that you already know, that you already live, and then develop your skill deeper while you're bringing your target audience to where you were or to where you are now. And then you're growing, evolving, learning, and then you're going to bring them to where you are then. Because ultimately, your target audience is you before you learned whatever you learned that got you where you are now that you want to teach. Okay. So your mindset that brings in daily sales is becoming a magnet, knowing your value and charging your worth and being one step ahead. So let's go through this one more time. Reminder of hashtag December in the comments for the free guide for December. Remember, our guide changes every single month because it goes along with the live series. We're talking all about offers that convert all month long. We started out with the 3 biggest customer finding mistakes. And that was spraying and praying on social media, waiting for people to come to you, and using outdated cold messaging techniques, right? So messaging isn't the problem, it's them being outdated. They need to be updated. Then we went into the mindset shift that brings in daily sales. So you move from this hunter, gatherer mentality to this attraction, oh wait, just kidding. Is that it? Is that number 3? Yeah, I guess. Number 1 was actually my biggest mistake, but we've been weaving that in and out. So this is actually number 3. Number 2 was the 3 biggest mistakes. So number 3 was moving from hunter to magnet, understanding your value / charging your worth, and you only have to be one step ahead. I think not only was one of my biggest mistakes constantly spending money on coaches, and these strategies were misaligned for me. It doesn't mean they weren't good and amazing and phenomenal. It's just that they went against what I was really attempting to achieve. The only way I could hire a coach that aligned with that was doing the mindset work first. What does my soul need? What do I truly want? How does my business need to feel? All that's soul work. It's not business work. That's soul work. When I learned that, then when I hired, I got what I needed. Done. Because I was making better decisions about who I was hiring. So then the money that I was spending was actually valuable instead of being quote unquote wasted. Don't get me wrong. I learned a lot in all the money that I've spent. I've grown a lot in all the money that I've spent and built successful businesses and all the money that I've spent. But a lot of it was wasted as well in a way because I wasn't right when I went out to make that decision. I wasn't clear when I went out to make that decision, right? When I hired my first marketing coaches to help me build my company to $500,000 a year, I hadn't even thought of fucking first about the type of business owner I needed to be, the mindset I needed to have, making sure that I did not allow my OOI and taking care of myself, order of importance and taking care of myself, to slip. And I damn sure did not value, honor, and respect myself because I did it as an edited version. Fuck that. Like, this is who I am. When my boyfriend first started hearing me do live sessions and trainings, he would hear me swear, he would laugh. And then after I'd get off, he'd go, "Oh my God, I can't believe that you are the same." It's like, yeah, why the fuck would I be different, right? See, there's this idea that professionalism looks like this. And this is what fucked me up in the very, very, very beginning of coaching. Professionalism has these check marks that looks like this. And in order to be received as professional, you've got to check these off. Well, that was someone else's belief system of professionalism. You could be checking these things off, right, and suck ass at what you're delivering. You could still be professional and not be changing people's lives at a high level. You could be changing it like that. You could still be professional as fuck and not be successful. You could be really professional and people still not like you because they feel like you're not personable. See, but in order for me to actually be personable, I had to just let it all go. I always swear like a sailor everywhere I go, even around people's children, public, everywhere I go. I am me. If you don't want your kids to hear swear words, I probably wouldn't take them in public because you can't control what other people are doing, right? My friends, they all know who I am before I meet their children. If you don't want me swearing around your kids, don't take me around your children. But if you take me around your children, I'm going to be me. I don't curb what I say. That was the next thing that my boyfriend was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that that's how you talked to your friend's daughter." I was like, Oh, I've always talked to her like that. It's like 5 years. She knows my personality. She loves the fuck out of me. He's like, I know. It was so funny. She's so cute. She didn't even react to you. It's like, yeah, because I am always me. Always me. So I live in Utah. So, sometimes I'll be swearing and a kid will say, oh, I'm not allowed to be around people who talk like that. So I'll tell that whoever, like some random fucking kid, I don't know, be in some public place. I'll say, you better go over there then. Why the fuck are you by me if you can't hear this? I'm me everywhere I go. The one time I wasn't like me in my life was when I built my original business, my original coaching business. So it's kind of a twofold mistake because one, I built a business as an edited version of me. And two, I didn't know what I needed to hold myself to have a successful business. Don't build your business as an edited version of you. Be who the fuck you are. Attract your tribe who loves you for that. And know who it is you need to be for you, how you need to show up for you, how you need to honor you, how you need to take care of your mind, body, and soul so that you can hold the successful business. All right? That's what I have for you. That is designing your path to profit. I think that was a really powerful session to kick off our month. I'm looking so forward to where we go from here. Next week, we're going to be talking about the golden triangle of sales, trust, value, and your offer. Then we're going to be moving into what makes your customers say yes. From there, we're going into the sales psychology mastery. So to master the psychology of selling and what that actually takes. And then we will wrap up the month of offers that convert with pricing, packages, and profit. So I hope you'll stay with me all month long. I hope you'll drop #December in the comments and snag your free guide that goes along with this month. It is going to be amazing. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next week. Bye.